Good morning. Okay, so it is about 6:30 a.m. right now. Meals are being cooked in the kitchen, almost done. Like I said, takes literally less than half an hour. Try it out if you'd like to. Um, and I've said it before, like the amount of time I spent on cooking meals, it's really not a whole lot. Like it's been taking about 25 minutes for me. And think of it like a practice, like a skill. Like the first time you do something, obviously it's going to be way more time consuming because, not very good at it. But the more you keep doing it, the more you keep developing some tips and tricks, and you get so much better at it. Like it gets very quick over time. So, yeah. But plan for today is shoulders and biceps. I have to be at work at 9. So I guess I'll just use the apartment gym, just convenience basis, because I can go in there, get a quick workout in like 45, 50 minutes, come back, pack my bag, get ready, and then walk to work, which is just about like a 10-minute walk to campus. So that's perfect. So the other day, a friend of mine from the gym and we were talking about this. He's kind of like one of my gym elder brothers, like gym mentors, if you will. But we were talking about it. We were discussing how always in the summer you have a little bit more energy and motivation, and waking up in the morning is kind of easy, like if you put your mind to it. But winters are when it's the actual test of willpower, because in the morning it's cold, it's so cozy in the bed, you just don't want to get out. So, yeah, winters are the real test. So, I guess the real challenge, it begins now. I feel, I guess that's why they have that term winter arc. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but yeah, I get what they're saying. Like you need to be more locked in than usual during the winters. So I do get it. So that is what the final product of the meal prep looks like. There's chicken rice part one, chicken rice part two, peanut butter sandwich, and then a bowl of oats in the fridge, which now that I'm going to the apartment gym, I might just eat immediately after the workout at home itself. So I guess there was not really a need to even prep that in the first place. About the decision of how and when I choose to go to the apartment gym, it's just a convenience based decision. Like it's not even a conscious decision. If I have the time, I'll walk to the campus gym, work out there, and I guess equipment wise and exercise wise, I should stick to one thing. But the main advantage of the apartment gym is that it's a 24-hour gym. So let's say on days I haven't had to yet, but let's say in exam week or something, things get a little too crazy and I want to use the gym before 6 in the morning. Or opposite, I want to use the gym late in the night. I'll probably avoid doing that because I don't like doing that anyways. But yeah, in these scenarios, the apartment gym is so convenient and it's shoulders and biceps. Like, what kind of equipment do you really want? A bench, a dumbbell. Like, you can make a workout out of anything that's available for shoulders and biceps specifically. So, yeah, right now, pre workout meal, and then we'll go to the apartment gym, do a quick workout, come back, pack all those tiffins into the bag, and then leave for campus. Then later on campus, while eating, I also want to go into a little bit of detail of what things are looking for me right now, diet wise, like what's the entire mindset around all the meals and what's going on in that nutrition aspect of things. So stick around for that. One thing I'm definitely looking to improve is that on the dumbbell OHP, my patience is a bit dwindling. Like on this bulk, as we're progressing in strength on every exercise, like the strength is increasing, the reps, weights, all of it. At least we're trying to. But on the dumbbell OHP, I've kind of been beating myself up. Like, I've got this one weight that I'm not really stuck at, but there's that, that urge of lifting heavier, going heavier, but I haven't really hit the target rep range yet. And in my eyes, if I haven't done that, I don't get to touch the next dumbbell. So I'm gonna try and be patient with it. I know it's gonna take time because the dumbbell OHP are an exercise to that that's hard to progress on really. Like you can't make these massive jumps every single session. So yeah, let's get to a warm-up set and then the main set. And see this, like apparently it is impossible to re-rack weights. Like you can come in here, lift them, you're strong enough to do that, but when it comes to re-racking the weights, man. Alright, so just got back. Unfortunately, I don't have like a dedicated posing room or anything, but there's always a decent amount of sunlight coming from this window in my room, so we can do a little physique check over here just after the workout. So the shoulders are definitely taking more roundness on this bulk. Can definitely see some of the extra calories going there, and a little bit of increased volume on the side delts is also paying off, I believe. And the leanness is still pretty decent. I'm not saying that 100% of the amount of weight gained so far is coming from muscle, and not that it's really realistic and possible, but a decent balance is being maintained. Yeah, like a little bit of striations being seen in the shoulder. That's what I really want. So I was clearly wrong about the timing of the protein oats. I thought I'll just eat it when I come back home after the workout, but I really need to leave right now. So I'm just gonna have my 5 grams of creatine. I'm just gonna chug it down really quickly and then leave for campus. And on campus, when hopefully when I'm sitting down with one of my meals, there's something more that I want to talk to you about. So I guess I'll see you then. Yeah, so I just inhaled that chicken and rice. No self-control whatsoever. I wanted to wait a while before I had that meal, but I was just hungry. Sometimes I wonder what's gonna happen when I go on a calorie deficit after this bulk. It's not like I don't know what it's like at all. I have been in a calorie deficit before, so I do know that part as well. But right now, what I have here is my peanut butter sandwich, something that I just look up to every day, look forward to. But yeah, a little discussion as to what the diet side of things are looking for me right now. The daily calorie intake has touched 3200, so you can clearly tell that the bulk is serious and it's moving forward slowly. But yeah, about the meals are consistent, kind of similar as well. Now, there is a certain discussion or argument about burning out with the same kind of meals, but I really don't think it's a bad idea necessarily. Like, if eating the same or like at least the similar meals, like not the exact identical stuff every day, but at least having a same meal plan in place with some stable components and some flexible rotational components, if that helps you be in your calorie limit, I would just do it. Like this meal plan that I've come up with, it helps me be in a calorie surplus like I want to every day, and it checks my macros almost kind of perfectly, so there's no issue. But if I were to give an overview of all my meals, and in the last video, I know I talked about coming up with a system that allows you to stick to your meals. I feel that's exactly what I've been able to do. Like if I look at all my meals, so what are they? Like banana honey as pre-workout. I don't see that changing at all because why would you? It's staple. You just need something for quick energy before a workout. But after the workout, okay, let's say protein oats. Now, protein oats are something that I eat every day, but obviously, if I want to switch things up or I feel like changing things up a bit, I can swap out the flavor of whey protein that I'm using. And even though it's a tiny change in terms of macros or the meal or the nutrient benefits, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever, except it's going to make me feel like I'm eating something completely new. Like for a while I was using chocolate protein, now this is a vanilla flavor. I've used, I don't know, strawberry as well in the past. So this tiny little change, and those who follow like a regular meal plan, you'll know what I'm talking about. Even the small, like tiny tweaks in the meal can make you feel like you're enjoying another like delicacy altogether. But yeah, you can make those changes. And then if I come to chicken rice, um, it's perfect. Like protein from chicken, quick carbs from rice, easy to get down, doesn't stuff up or bloat your stomach too much. Now the chicken, how I usually marinate it is olive oil, little bit, salt, pepper, and I go with any one extra seasoning of choice. Now for that one seasoning, I can do whatever I want, right? Like if I want to change in taste, like for example, if I were to open my spice cabinet right now, I've got I think smoked paprika and a carne asada kind of seasoning, if you know what that is. But yeah, every morning when I wake up to prep my meals, I can put whatever I feel like, right? And even though the meal, like in a whole overview, it's not going to make any difference to it, but it'll give me something new to my taste buds, right? Like it's the exact same meal, but different in a sense. And I also pair it up with some veggies that I can switch again for some micro diversity. And I also put dal on it a few times, at least on the weekends when I have time to make something that elaborate. But even for the dal, like I was eating the regular yellow tur dal for a while. Now I've got this green dal, and like the macros are exact same, but the meal is different, right? It has a different taste to it. Similarly, another thing with with the almond butter. Like I was eating almond butter for a while, but now I have these two massive jars of peanut butter that I have to go through. But any nut butter, in terms of the nutritional value, it reads legit the exact same. Like, except, okay, for almond butter, maybe there's more fiber content, so it's technically healthier for you than peanut butter. But I mean, it doesn't make a difference. Like, the macros are going to read the exact same, whatever you do with it. And then I guess, okay, a staple meal for me is the eggs and milk pre bed, because slow digesting protein before bed in the overnight fasted state. But yeah, the point is, if you see this entire meal plan, yes, it's the exact same food over and over, but if you notice in every meal, there's that little bit of wiggle room that you can take, to switch things up, to make things interesting. And once you get so familiar with your calories and your macros, you just have so much freedom to do whatever you want with your meals. Like, for example, on the days when I run out of rice for my chicken rice meal, I get myself bread or some hot dog buns to make chicken hot dogs or chicken sandwiches out of it. If I run out of chicken, I make tuna sandwiches. So, all these are different switches that I can make in my meals whenever I feel like it, really. And at the end of the day, my macros are being hit perfectly. And especially now that I'm on a bulk, I have this huge budget of calories to play with. And maybe that gives me a lot more flexibility. But even on a calorie deficit, like let's say my total intake was something like just 2000, I could still make those switches. And as long as it fits into that 2000 mark and I've hit enough protein for the day, not too high on fats, but enough to support like health, hormones and stuff like that, and enough amount of carbs to fuel my training every day, of course. So as long as I do that, I'm chill. So yeah, I'm just gonna eat these two peanut butter sandwiches. Okay, I guess this is another example. So what I do with peanut butter is that I don't just spread it on the bread straight away. Sometimes what I'll do is, for some extra taste and flavor, I'll put like half a scoop of protein in it, a little bit of honey because I've got a sweet tooth, and I'll mix all of this with a tiny splash of water, make kind of like a thick paste. So it tastes exactly like peanut butter, but it's got that extra bit of sweetness in it. And I'm just gonna make two sandwiches out of these. But yeah, after this, I guess, is my pre bed meal, and that's not for a while. Like right now, it's about 5 in the evening. Pre bed meal is only at 7, 7:15. But when I sit down with the pre bed meal, I have something else that I want to discuss with you. And these are going to be a few key learnings that I've had on this bulk so far, and a few terrible mistakes that I've made in the past that I've learned from, and I'm trying to improve this time around. So, well, pre-bed meal has been destroyed as well. 3 whole eggs, little bit of olive oil, and some dal in a bowl. That's it. But as promised, this is gonna be key learnings on the bulk so far that have really helped me develop a little bit of perspective about bulking, because I hadn't done it before seriously ever. The last bulk that I did was a really misinformed, kind of non serious one. So I don't really like talking about that, but we all make mistakes and that's how we learn. But yeah, learning number one, and this is going to be kind of controversial. Like, you know how some people will tell you that when you're bulking, you have to get like really fat, put on like a lot of body fat, look into the mirror, probably see something that's very unimpressive to you. Like, you might not like what you see in the mirror, and you have to kind of tolerate that mindset for a while. I'm not sure how much I agree with that. Like, of course, on a bulk, you can't avoid body fat, that is going to come, and it's pretty much like a little bit of common sense. But I definitely believe that you have control over how much weight comes from fat, how much from muscle, if you do it right. Like, if I keep my diet a little clean as possible, and I stay on the little slightly low end of fat, get most of my calories from carbs, hit a decent amount of protein, go really hard in the gym, so that, because the higher my strength, the more weight comes from muscle. That's how I think. Like, every rep I do in the gym, that's the kind of mindset I approach. Like, when I'm doing a set, that's the kind of mind frame. Like, I just trick my mind into that. Like, if I get this rep, if I get this last like struggling rep, those calories will go into muscle and not into fat. Like, this little kind of mental trick has really helped me keep my intensity very high at the gym. And I don't know, I mean, something's working. But yeah, I would definitely say that there's no case of a black and white approach. Like, you can definitely, I feel it's completely valid to hold yourself to a very high standard of the way you want to appear physically. Because if you tell me that, okay, for the next months at a go, I have to look into the mirror and I'm pretty much not gonna like what I see, and I have to be like that for a long time, I don't think I'm doing it. Because what is my motivation to do something like that when I put in this amount of work? I look at myself and I'm not even happy. Like, that takes out, I believe, the entire point of any fitness journey. And key learning number two, and this is something that I personally am very, very guilty of like crying about. There's no such thing as a hard gainer. Like, as heartbreaking as it sounds, there is no such thing as a hard gainer. Like, you are either eating in a calorie surplus, your body is either in a surplus state, a hyper caloric state, like the scientific term, and you are gaining weight, or you're simply not. Like biologically and logically, there's nothing in between. So there's no such thing as a hard gainer really. And I think that also takes a little bit of patience. Like you really need to figure out your nutrition on a bulk. For example, for me, the first few weeks of the bulk, I was eating like this amount. The weight was slightly trending upwards, like, and this is another mistake. Like I was going by everyday fluctuations. I was like, okay, yesterday it was this, today the number is slightly higher. That's it. But when you look at the weekly average, there's hardly any movement. So for me, what I realized is that okay, if I'm at 2600 calories, I upped it to 2800. Yes, the body weight is slightly trending upwards, but that's not really like a significant amount of surplus. And of course, in the bulk, as you go deep, you build more muscle, you put more mass onto your body, your maintenance calories also slightly rise. And I think that's where the quote comes in, like, nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you just sort of keep things stagnant, you're not going to get much of an outcome. So I upped my calories, like initially when I was at 2800, only to find out that 2800, which I thought I was in a massive surplus or something, is essentially just my maintenance calories. Like when I'm at 2800, my weekly averages are kind of staying flat, constant. Then when I upped the calories as I went down, now eventually I'm at 3200 calories, and now I'm holding this calorie intake, holding this number, and my weight is going up as I want it to be, like about zero point 0.5 to a pound per week, which is pretty much perfect. Like at that rate of gain, you can at least not guarantee but make sure that most of that weight is coming from muscle and not from fat. And like I said, no black or white approach, right? Like I could be in a 600 calorie surplus, just put on a ton of weight, but how do I know if any of that is actually muscle, right? Like my lifts might go up, but how do I know that all of that mass, all of that size that I'm seeing, and that increased number on the weighing scale isn't actually all fat? Like I don't want that. I can't have wasted months in a row just to find out that it, like, okay, maybe not no outcome, because at least you stuck to the process, you went to the gym, took care of yourself like that, kept yourself physically active, but still the goal that you were looking for, like, you didn't really get to that, right? And then of course the third learning, and this is my specialty. Like, I've learned this the hard way from a mistake, so I feel I can like freely express it and talk about it in a way that's actually helpful for any of my friends trying to, like, follow the same approach. I cannot stress enough on how important it is to carry meals with you on a bulk. It's like, oh my god. So if you've seen in the last video, I think I'd shown a glimpse of the 5 tiffin boxes of food that I stuff into my bag, carry to campus, eat it there. So in terms of food, like the calorie amount, those 5 boxes of food, they amount to about 25 to 2600 calories. And if I look at my daily total, it's like 3200. So which means by the time I get back home from college, it's about 7 p.m., maybe 7:30. So that means before bed, I just have 500 or 600 calories left to fill in. Like that's perfect, to be honest, because I'm gonna be going to bed, but not on an empty stomach. I don't think that's much of a problem on a bulk, anyways. But let me tell you why this is such a big learning for me. So, story time. Last semester, oh, actually, no, not last semester, last to last semester, like about an year ago, or maybe a little more than that, I did a bulk. No clue what I was doing, just blindly stuffing down 3200 calories, put on a lot of fat. But okay, let's still call that a legit bulk, right? Because you're still eating that big amount of food. I go to campus, I carry just the protein oats or a chicken rice with me. Okay, I still did meal prep, that's pretty good. But the problem is, those two tiffins together are hardly something like 1200 or 1300 calories at best. And you know that when you're going to go to campus, you're pretty much going to be there the entire day. If you have classes, work, you're going to spend literally your entire day on campus. So what happens is when I come back home, it's 7:30 p.m. and let's say I also want to go to bed at a reasonable time, right? So let's say in a 2.5 or 3 hour window, I have 3200 minus like 1300. I have nearly 2000 calories more to fill in. Now, either one of two things is gonna happen. One, you're gonna be so tired that you'll probably even give up on the calorie intake for the day. Just go to bed. That fails the entire bulk, right? You're not in a calorie surplus. Another thing that could happen is, and this has actually happened to me, 2000 calories worth of food at one point, like in one sitting, is so much that to actually get all of that down, you're going to be up late till night, like 1 a.m. And you don't want to do that because you want to be going to bed at a reasonable time, right? Because good amount of sleep, recovery, you don't want to damage that. And also, the next day has to go on, right? Like you have to do this repeatedly every day. So, this is maybe a system, maybe a way to go about it, but it just doesn't work, you know. And okay, another thing you could do is those 2000 calories left at night, to fill those in. Another possibility is just fill them up with anything you like if I'm just gonna put 2 scoops of ice cream into my um into my oats or into my shake or something, I don't know. Okay, that gets the job done, but that's not really quality calories, you know. And and tell me, how much is it possible to fit in your macros in the exact ratios that you desire with foods like a pizza or an ice cream? Because I have done that. Just to fill in 1500 calories left for the night, I have stuffed on an entire pizza in one sitting. I have done that. Which is why I just feel carrying your meals around with you on a bulk is the smartest way to go about it. Like, have foods with you at all times. Because another thing is, okay, I have time between classes and work. I have my meals right here with me. I just need to open it, eat it. Because if I'm like, okay, I'm not really hungry right now, I'm not sure if I want to eat. If I wait to get hungry on a bulk, I'm never going to eat food, you know, and I'm never going to be able to touch that calorie surplus. So these three are definitely, I would say, like one of the big learnings I've had on the bulk so far. And I am excited because obviously they're going to be a lot more, because my plan is to continue this approach without fail at least till the end of the year. And then after that, what happens, we'll see how to change the approach, or what new we can do, or what new I feel like doing, you know, because I do understand that at some point maybe the bulk is going to be, yeah, a bit tiring, or too much unwanted fat, which I might want to trim off. But let's see how it goes. But well, that was it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. The next one will probably be like a full, complete, detailed update on my bulk personally, physique wise, food wise, you know, mentality wise, what's really going on. Because the next video, when I shoot, hopefully, is going to probably be like about 4 months, or just about 4 months into the bulk. Anyways, I'll let you know. But as of now,